The colony ship New Dawn drifted helplessly in the darkness of space. Its engines had died 3 hours ago, leaving 200 human colonists stranded. Maya Chin sat in the medical bay, wincing as the doctor wrapped her broken arm. She had injured it when the ship lurched during the engine failure. "Stay still, Maya," Dr. Rodriguez said gently. "Just a few more minutes." Maya was only 13, but she tried to be brave. Her parents were xenobiologists, and they had taught her that space was full of wonders. Right now, though, space felt very scary. Suddenly, red lights flashed throughout the ship. An alarm screamed. Maya's heart pounded. "Unknown vessels approaching," the computer announced. "Warning. Warning." The Caruelo ships appeared like massive metal claws surrounding the helpless human vessel. They were huge, dark, and covered in sharp edges. The Caruelo warriors boarded within minutes. The airlock exploded inward with a deafening bang. Maya had never seen aliens before. The Caruelo were terrifying. They stood 8 feet tall with thick armored shells covering their bodies like insects. Their 4 arms ended in sharp claws, and their faces had too many eyes that glowed an ugly yellow color. The Caruelo commander walked through the corridors, his claws clicking on the metal floor. He looked at the humans and made a sound like laughter but crueler. "Such weak creatures," he said in perfect English, his voice like grinding stones. "Look how soft they are. Look how small." The Caruelo warriors rounded up all the humans and forced them into the cargo bay. Maya clutched her broken arm, tears running down her face from the pain. Her parents stood nearby, their faces pale with fear. The commander walked between the frightened colonists. His eyes studied each person like they were insects he might step on. "You humans wandered into our territory," he announced. "Normally we would simply destroy your vessel. But today is special. Today is the offering day." The other Caruelo warriors made that terrible laughing sound again. "On our sacred world of Draker 7, we honor the old traditions," the commander continued. "Every cycle we feed the guardian beast. It is a great honor." Maya felt her mother's hand grip her shoulder tightly. The commander stopped in front of Maya. He bent down, bringing his horrible face close to hers. She could smell something like burning metal on his breath. "This one," he said, pointing a claw at her. "This small, broken one." "No." Maya's mother screamed. "She's just a child. She's injured." The commander made that laughing sound again. "Exactly. Already broken. The beast will finish quickly. It is almost mercy." He looked at the other humans. "Be grateful. We choose only one. The rest of you will live as our servants." 2 Caruelo warriors grabbed Maya. She struggled and kicked, but they were impossibly strong. Her father tried to fight them and was knocked to the ground with one casual swipe. "Let me go," Maya shouted. "I'm not afraid of you." This made all the Caruelo laugh harder. "Human bravery," the commander mocked. "So adorable. So useless." They dragged Maya to a transport shuttle. Through the window, she could see the other humans watching helplessly. Her mother was crying. Her father was being held back by Caruelo guards. The shuttle departed from the New Dawn and flew toward a green and brown planet below. Maya's arm throbbed with pain. She was terrified, but she refused to cry anymore. She would not give these monsters the satisfaction. As the planet grew larger in the window, the Caruelo warriors talked among themselves in their own language. They kept pointing at Maya and making that awful laughing sound. They clearly thought this was all very funny. One warrior spoke to her in broken English. "You feed dragon. Dragon eat quick. You lucky." Maya stared out the window and thought about everything her parents had taught her about alien life. About communication. About understanding. Maybe, she thought, there was something these cruel aliens did not understand. Maybe there was something they had wrong. She had to hope so. Hope was all she had left. The Caruelo shuttle landed near a massive cave entrance. The warriors pulled Maya out roughly and she stumbled on the rocky ground. Her broken arm sent sharp pain through her body, but she bit her lip and stayed quiet. Above the cave, the Caruelo had built metal platforms that floated in the air. Dozens of Caruelo warriors gathered on them, pointing down at Maya and chattering excitedly. It looked like they were having a party. "Place your bets," one warrior shouted in their language. Maya's translator device was broken, but she understood their cruel laughter. The commander shoved Maya toward the dark cave entrance. "The guardian beast awaits, little human. Try to run. Try to hide. It makes the hunt more entertaining for us." Maya turned to face him, her jaw set firm despite her fear. "You're all cowards. Brave warriors who throw hurt children to monsters." The commander's eyes flashed with anger, but then he laughed. "Such spirit. It will make your screams even sweeter. He pushed her hard and Maya fell into the darkness of the cave. She rolled down a slope of loose rocks, crying out as her injured arm hit the ground. When she finally stopped, she lay still for a moment, breathing hard. Above, she could hear the KRWL cheering and laughing. Slowly, Maya stood up and looked around. The cave was enormous, like a cathedral made of stone. Strange blue and green crystals grew from the walls, giving off a soft, ghostly light. She could see far into the distance where the cave went deeper into the planet. Her scientist brain kicked in despite her terror. She started walking carefully, studying her surroundings. The floor was covered with bones, which made her stomach twist with fear. But something was odd about them. The bones were arranged in piles, sorted by size. Some had markings carved into them. Tool marks. Animals don't organize things, Maya whispered to herself. Animals don't make patterns. Against one wall, she saw stones stacked in careful towers. Drawings were scratched into the cave walls, showing stars and planets and mathematical symbols. A deep rumbling sound filled the cave. The crystals vibrated and hummed. Maya's heart hammered in her chest. Something massive was moving in the darkness ahead. The ground shook with each footstep. Maya wanted to run, but there was nowhere to go. She pressed her back against the cave wall and tried to steady her breathing like her mother had taught her during meditation. Then she saw it. The creature emerged from the shadows and Maya forgot how to breathe. It was huge, at least 40 feet long from nose to tail. Its body was covered in scales that looked like they were made from the same crystals that grew on the walls. They shimmered with blue and green light. The creature had 6 legs, a long serpentine neck, and a head with multiple eyes that glowed like stars. Lightning crackled between its scales, making the air smell like a thunderstorm. Above, the KRWL warriors cheered loudly. Kill, 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 they chanted. The dragon creature moved toward Maya. Each step made the ground shake. It lowered its massive head, bringing those glowing eyes level with her. Maya could see her reflection in them. She looked so small and helpless. But the creature did not attack. It stopped 3 feet away and simply watched her. Its head tilted to one side like a dog trying to understand something. One eye closed, then opened. Another eye blinked in a different pattern. Maya remembered her mother's research on animal communication. Patterns mean intelligence, her mother always said. Random is instinct. Patterns are thought. The creature was studying her just as carefully as she was studying it. Maya took a shaking breath and did something crazy. She raised her good hand slowly and spoke in a clear, calm voice. Hello, she said. Can you understand me? The creature's eyes widened. Its mouth opened slightly and a sound came out. Not a roar. Not a growl. A word. Distorted and strange, but definitely a word. Hello. Maya's eyes went wide with shock. The creature could speak. Above them, the KRWL warriors went silent. This was not supposed to happen. The massive dragon lowered its head even closer to Maya. Its breath was warm but smelled like ozone and flowers, not like death. It made more sounds, struggling with each word. Not beast, it said slowly. I am Zekthor. I am prisoner. Maya's scientific mind raced. You're intelligent. You're a person, not an animal. The dragon's eyes glowed brighter, as if showing happiness. Yes, long ago, my people lived here. We were Draconi. We built cities. We loved knowledge. We loved peace. What happened? Maya asked softly. Zekthor's scales dimmed with sadness. The KRWL came. They wanted our world. Our crystals hold great power. We did not fight well. We were not warriors. They killed my people. All of them. My mate. My child. The dragon's voice broke on the last word. Tears filled Maya's eyes. I'm so sorry. They could not kill me, Zekthor continued. My biology is different. I regenerate. I heal. So they trapped me here. They made me a monster in their stories. Every cycle they throw dying creatures to me. They say I eat them, but I try to help them. Most are already dead when they arrive. The others die from their wounds before I can save them. Maya looked at the organized bones with new understanding. You buried them. You honored them. Yes, I remember each one. Each name when I knew it. Each face. Zekthor's multiple eyes focused on Maya's broken arm. You are hurt. Yeah, like my child was. The KRWL laugh, but they are cowards. They fear you humans. Fear us? Why? Maya asked, confused. You came to the stars in primitive ships. You explore. You dream. You do not conquer, you discover. The KRWL fear what you might become. Zekthor moved closer very gently. May I help your arm? Maya hesitated only a moment, then nodded. Yes, please. The dragon's scales began to glow brighter. Blue lightning danced between them, but when it touched Maya, it did not hurt. It felt warm and tingly. The electricity flowed into her broken arm, and she gasped as the pain faded. She could feel the bones moving, healing, becoming whole again. How are you doing this? Maya whispered in wonder. Bioelectric manipulation. My people could heal, could grow, could build with our natural energy. The KRYL never learned this because they never showed me kindness. Never tried to communicate. They only threw bodies and watched. Above, the KRL commander's voice boomed down. What is happening? Kill the human. Do your duty, beast. Zekthor's eyes flashed with anger. I am not their beast. I am Zekthor, last of the Draconi. And you, young human, what is your name? Maya. Maya-chan. I'm 13 years old. My parents study alien life. Maya, Zekthor said gently. Will you help me? Will you help me teach the KRYL that they are wrong? Together, perhaps we can be free. Maya flexed her healed arm, amazed that it no longer hurt. An idea formed in her mind. A crazy, dangerous, wonderful idea. She thought about everything her parents taught her. She thought about human stubbornness, human cleverness, human refusal to give up. I have a plan, Maya said. But I'll need your help. And we'll need to make the KRL think everything is going exactly as they expect. Zekthor's scales rippled with colors Maya had not seen before. Hope, she realized. The dragon was feeling hope for the first time in decades. Tell me your plan, young Maya, Zekthor said. Let us show these KRL what happens when they underestimate a human and awaken a dragon's wrath. Maya smiled, and it was not a nice smile. It was the smile of Earth's daughter planning revenge. Maya pulled out her broken communicator from her pocket. The screen was cracked and dark, but the battery core still glowed faintly. She held it up to show Zekthor. The KRL's armor and weapons all use electronics, Maya explained. If we can create a big electromagnetic pulse, an EMP, we can shut down their technology all at once. Zekthor's eyes brightened with understanding. And my bioelectricity could power such a device. But we need a way to amplify it. Maya looked at the glowing crystals covering the cave walls. These crystals, they respond to your energy, right? They glow brighter when you're near them. Yes, they were grown by my people. They store and amplify electrical energy. We use them to power our civilization. Maya grinned. Then we have everything we need. We're going to build a weapon using a broken phone, ancient alien crystals, and dragon lightning. Very human solution. Over the next hours, Maya and Zekthor worked together. The dragon carefully broke crystals from the walls with precision, arranging them in a circle. Maya used wires from her communicator to connect them. She worked with steady hands, remembering everything her engineer uncle had taught her about circuits. While they worked, they talked. Zekthor told Maya about Draconi culture, about their love of art and mathematics and stargazing. Maya told Zekthor about Earth, about oceans and mountains and her favorite foods. She told him about friendship, about how humans helped each other even when things seemed impossible. Your people sound beautiful, Zekthor said softly. The KRYL see kindness as weakness. But I see it as strength. My dad always says that the strongest thing humans do is care about each other, Maya replied. Even strangers. Even aliens we just met. Zekthor made a rumbling sound that Maya realized was a purr. I had forgotten what friendship felt like. Thank you, young Maya. Above them, the KRYL were getting restless. The commander's voice echoed down. This takes too long. Why does the human still live? Maya looked at Zekthor. Time for part 2 of the plan. Can you show the other humans what's happening here? Through their minds. Yes. It will be difficult, but I can project images and thoughts across distance. My people use this to communicate across our world. Zekthor closed his eyes. His scales glowed brilliant blue. Energy pulsed through the air. On the KRYL platforms above, and in the holding cells where the human prisoners waited, every human suddenly saw visions in their minds. They saw Maya alive and well. They saw her standing beside an intelligent dragon being. They saw the truth about what the KRYL had done. They saw Maya's plan. Maya's father gasped in his cell. That's my girl, he whispered. That's my brave girl. The human prisoners began to prepare quietly. They gathered anything that could be used as a weapon. Broken chair legs. Metal trays. Their own desperate courage. They waited for Maya's signal. Meanwhile, Maya positioned herself on the ground, lying very still. She smeared some dirt on her face and closed her eyes. Zekthor stood over her, making sad, mournful sounds that echoed through the cave. The KRYL commander finally lost patience. I will see the body myself. This beast grows too soft. He activated his floating platform and descended into the cave with 6 heavily armed warriors. They approached carefully, weapons ready. The commander saw Maya lying motionless on the ground with Zekthor standing over her, head bowed. Finally, the commander said with satisfaction, "The human is dead. Retrieve the body for proof." The warriors moved forward. Maya's eyes snapped open. Her hands slammed down on the makeshift device. "Now," she shouted. Zekthor roared, and electricity exploded from his body into the crystal array. The EMP burst outward like an invisible wave, and every piece of KRYL technology within a mile died instantly. The KRYL warriors' armor locked up instantly, frozen in place like statues. Their weapons went dead. The floating platforms crashed to the ground with loud crashes. The commander fell hard, his exoskeleton now a prison instead of protection. "What have you done?" he screamed at Maya. Maya stood up, brushing dirt from her clothes. "Something very human. I improvised." Zekthor roared, and the sound shook the entire cave. The chains that had bound him for decades snapped like threads. He had been pretending to be weak all this time, saving his strength. Now, fully powered by rage and hope, he was unstoppable. Above ground, the human prisoners heard the roar. It was their signal. They attacked their KRYL guards all at once. Without working armor and weapons, the KRYL were just large, clumsy creatures. The humans fought with chairs, fists, and pure determination. Maya's father led the charge, shouting encouragement to the others. In the cave, Zekthor's voice filled Maya's mind and the minds of every human on the planet. The northern building has KRYL weapons. The eastern compound has ships. Move together. Stay strong. Maya coordinated everything through her connection with Zekthor. She was like a general commanding an army, even though she was just 13. She told groups where to go, what to capture, how to help each other. The humans moved like one organism, surprising the confused KRYL at every turn. But victory was short-lived. In orbit above the planet, the KRYL fleet detected the uprising. Their ships' weapons powered up, preparing to destroy everything below. "They will burn this world," Zekthor said urgently. "They will kill everyone rather than admit defeat." Maya's mind raced. Then she remembered something Zekthor had told her about Draconi technology. "The beacon. You said your people had an emergency beacon." "Yes, but it has been dead for so long. I do not know if—" "Show me where it is." Maya interrupted. Zekthor ran through the cave tunnels with Maya on his back, moving faster than any vehicle. They reached a hidden chamber filled with ancient Draconi technology. In the center stood a tall crystal tower, dark and dormant. Maya jumped down and examined it. The design was similar to what they had built for the EMP. "Channel your energy into it. All of it." Zekthor placed his claws on the tower. Blue lightning poured from his body into the ancient machine. The crystals began to glow, slowly at first, then brighter and brighter. The tower hummed with power it had not felt in 100 years. The beacon activated, sending out a signal across the stars. It broadcast 2 messages at once: the ancient Draconi heritage codes and Maya's human distress signal that she had programmed in. In space, an Earth Alliance patrol destroyer called Defiant received the signal. Captain Rodriguez read the message and her eyes widened. "That's my niece. Maya is alive. All ships, maximum speed to those coordinates." Across the planet, ancient Draconi defense systems woke up. Weapon platforms rose from beneath the ground. Shield generators powered on. The planet itself became a fortress. The KRYL fleet in orbit suddenly faced Earth warships jumping into the system and a planet that was very much armed and angry. Their admiral made a quick decision. "Retreat. Retreat immediately." The KRYL ships fled into hyperspace, abandoning their ground forces. The stranded KRYL warriors surrendered to the victorious humans. 3 months later, Maya stood in the Galactic Council chambers. She was famous now, known across the galaxy as the girl who befriended a dragon and freed a world. She wore a formal Earth Alliance uniform, and beside her stood Zekthor, representing the Draconi people. Maya testified about everything the KRYL had done. War crime charges were filed. Reparations were ordered. The KRYL Empire's reputation was destroyed. After the hearing, Zekthor spoke to the gathered aliens and humans. "The KRYL threw Maya to me expecting her death. Instead they gave me hope and she gave my people a future. Remember this day. Never underestimate a species that sends its children to the stars." Maya smiled and placed her hand on her friend's scaled leg. Above them, the Earth and Draconi flags rose together as allies, as friends, as proof that the best of humanity was not strength or weapons. It was the stubborn refusal to give up and the courage to care.